Hello and welcome to A Real Blogger vs. Alex Inc. I am your host, Pokematic. This is episode 8 of this little podcast. I am more accomplished than Alex at this point. I've been doing this podcast as long as he has, and I actually have things to show for it, unlike him. The thing that really got me in this episode that just made me say, oh my, what is wrong with the writers, is that they made it where it's like he released a teaser. They have established that he's been working on this for 2 months. And he has a teaser. This episode, they finally released the first episode. What is wrong with these people? It does not take that long to make a podcast. Do you know what happened when I first started up my YouTube channel, the Catholic Controversy YouTube channel? I said, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a series. And I'm going to have a little bit of a long game, but I have some ideas. And I expected that long game to maybe last 2 months after uploading multiple videos, where I finally got into the Truth About Harry Potter series, where I talk about how Harry Potter is not the devil incarnate, is not an evil book, unlike what other people have said, but I knew I had to establish my Christian beliefs and my conservative beliefs, and that I'm not just some guy pretending to be a Christian saying that, oh, you guys are dumb if you think Harry Potter is evil. Because I knew that that would be the sort of criticism that I might get. But what happened the first time that I made my YouTube channel, and then a week later I uploaded my first video where it's just hi. And then the next, I think it was the next 2 or 3 days, I uploaded my first real video, my thoughts on abortion. And then I just kind of kept going from there. That's all happened within the span of a week. Alex released a trailer, a teaser. He didn't even really have anything to really show for it. After 2 months in the series of this time. Do you know how much I release in 2 months? I release at least 8 videos in 2 months. Sometimes more if I'm feeling really energetic, or when I have a series to rant about like this one. What is wrong with these writers? And just the sheer fact of the volume of hate that he got from this. Okay, so I'm getting a bit of ahead of myself. This series episode is about trolls. Alex lets the trolls get to him. When I saw that this is going to be a series about trolls, I was looking forward to it. In a very kind of trollish, eager to destroy it kind of way. Because I was very eager to see what they would get wrong. And how badly they would get it wrong. Now, I gotta say that they did kind of get a little bit of the trolling. They kind of laid into it. But it was still very tame trolling compared to what I got. And, first time you get trolls, I admit, it cuts a little bit. It kind of hurts when you have someone tell you that your entire life philosophy and the way that you perceive the world is wrong and that you're stupid for it and that maybe you should go kill yourself. That happened to me. And yeah, it stung the first 5 times that I got it. But, then I just kind of learned to deal with it because, they're not really attacking me personally. They think they are, but they're really just kind of attacking the character that I portray online. They are attacking my online persona. That is why I continue to not use my real name and continue to just kind of keep myself very kind of at a nice arm's length from my real world. But, it happens. It hurts a little bit. But what happened with this, with a teaser, is someone told him, you suck. That's basically all they did. They came up with some slightly creative ways of telling him that he sucks. But just that. Strange. I didn't hear anyone give him any death threats or telling him that he is a horrible person or tell him that he is a... I don't even want to say it. You can just scroll through some of my videos, some of my older stuff, and see some of the nasty things that people have said to me. If Alex gets torn down by 200 people saying that he sucks, then he has no business being on the internet. Look, trolls are just part of the internet. It's who it is. People are jerks. People are just grade A certified assholes. Yeah. I broke it. I made a little PG right there because I just had to say it. And yeah, I try to keep my stuff pretty family friendly. Try to make it so that so that if you're watching this and listening to this with children present, that you don't have to worry about it. But that's just the fact of the matter. That's what the internet is like. People are just grade A certified assholes. And there's no other way to put it. And you just got to deal with it. I've been dealing with it for 9 years. And it's not just the controversial political opinions. One thing that I hear kind of constantly is people making fun of how I misspelled my name, Catholic Controversy, on the YouTube and Daily Motion channel. Yeah, that happened. I realized that. Do you think I haven't realized that I misspelled the word controversy? Yeah, I know that controversy is spelled with an O and not an I. Thanks for pointing that out. I realized that like day 3 after I signed up for YouTube and created the account name. Yeah, I know it. You don't have to keep pointing it out, but you're just going to keep doing it because you're trolls. And yeah, it hurts a little bit, but I learned to get over it. But what happens in this episode is that Alex takes it way too personally. Way, way too personally. He becomes completely separated from everything. And it just cut him too deep. And he's just like, oh man, every single one of these little hate comments is a stab right in my heart. And it's like, dude, get over it. It's what it is like on the internet. This isn't like back when I started YouTube, back in 2009, when it was still a pretty novel concept. And I didn't really get the whole idea of haters and trolls, and comment sections weren't as lively and cancerous as they are now. No, this series takes place in like 2018. How do you not know that the comment sections of videos are absolute cancer and that people are absolutely horrible? And the kind of things that I get that it's network TV and they can't really go into it, but just the way that they portrayed him. I mean, this is ABC. ABC is not afraid to do comedic bleeping. They do it all the time on the Goldbergs. So why didn't they do some comedic bleeping to portray just how vile the trolls are? Because if they said like, you are a beep 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 beep. Wow, that's really hurtful. Okay, first off, that'd be funny because we don't know what is being said. Because, trolls, they can be pretty creative and come up with some pretty nasty things that you just can't say on TV. So, 1, that would be funny. And 2, it'd be much more vile and much more deep cutting to show that Alex maybe kind of can't handle it. That maybe someone said something that really just kind of hit him really deep. But they didn't. It was just simple, this podcast sucks. Yeah, that's what people do. It's part of the internet. And it was a teaser. What I just can't get over is just how detached these writers are from the reality of podcasting. Okay. So he got like 300 or whatever nasty comments on his podcast teaser. And okay, maybe, just maybe, I can suspend my disbelief just slightly that his brother or his cousin is a very, very good promoter and was able to get a lot of people to check out the site. But I have a high doubt that he would get 300 people to register to his website just to downvote and just be vile. Okay, I've seen some pretty dedicated trolls. They're generally not that dedicated. And maybe he's uploading it to SoundCloud. Maybe. Or some other podcasting service. But most of the time, unless you're like a major motion picture studio and you release a really, really bad trailer or whatever, do you get tons and tons of nasty comments. I mean, I guess I did get probably about 100 nasty comments on my Don't Watch Unnatural History and Don't Watch Tower Prep videos. But that was after it accumulated thousands of views and was at a very, very crucial junctioning point on Cartoon Network in terms of its live action content. And it was a pretty kind of, how do I put this? There weren't a lot of people making videos about unnatural history at the time. And there wasn't necessarily the large pro-cartoon community on YouTube that there is now. So, that being said, it's far more believable that I would have that kind of retention rate of haters. But for a no-name podcast about some guy, and I guess it's maybe about his family, I don't think that he's going to get that much negative attention. I have a hard time believing that, especially for a podcast that has been in the works for 2 months. I just can't get over the fact that it took them like 2 months within their universe to finally get this podcast going. That is insane. What do these writers think it's like making a podcast and making internet content? It's not that hyped up. This isn't 2004. This isn't 2006 when there aren't that many people doing this sort of thing. There are millions of people doing this sort of thing. I would have had a much easier time believing this if this was on like some sort of, if this was like his 8th podcast or 9th podcast or whatever. And he finally starts getting some hate after seeing so much positive attention. That would have been much more believable for him to be like, oh no, they're cutting me like a knife. It hurts. But it's a teaser. I don't get it. And especially don't these writers. They almost got it right. Almost. So close. But yet so far. I get that what they were trying to do with this. They were trying to develop Alex and try to get him to learn a lesson that you can't listen to the haters and whatnot. And there was that one bit where he has his co-workers talking about how he's too sensitive and how it's too much for him. And but the thing about it is just, I can't suspend my disbelief about a no-name teaser trailer for a podcast. I can fully believe that on like the Ghostbusters reboots or the Emoji Movie or some other really, really bad trailer for a movie that people are expecting to be bad. But I can't believe that with just a guy who just is making a podcast about his family, that they were going to get that much hate. I'm surprised that he got any comments at all, honestly. So, I don't know. Maybe some big internet troll unleashed his army of trolls on him and that's why it's happening. I doubt it, though. I just think that maybe it's just that these writers don't know what they're talking about. Okay, well, this has been Pokematic signing off, and bye-bye. Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the end card. So, another dud of an episode from Alex Inc. because these guys don't know what it's like to be a real blogger. Again, why do these guys think that this is how the internet works? If he's releasing a teaser trailer for some no-name podcast, of course he's not going to get anything. I could go on with how I released my trailer for the Truth About Harry Potter series, and that didn't do anything, even though I was expecting it to do things, but it literally did nothing. I got like less than 10 views on it, I think, at one point. Especially when I was going, and I was expecting people to like come in and just be like, oh man, here's what makes Harry Potter evil. Here's why Harry Potter is the work of the devil, but nope, didn't get any of that. Interesting, but whatever. Yeah, and again, just the fact that they think that this is what trolls are like. And I wanted to maybe sort of initially go into the anatomy of the troll and like what trolling is, but I just couldn't get over the fact that they said that they basically implied that this series has been in production for 2 months. And like this is the kind of hype that it's getting? No, it's so unbelievable. And yeah, it's true. You just gotta let the haters hate. Haters gonna hate. It's what happens. When I hang out in Twitch streams with my friends Surfer Selfies, what happens? He'll get people that come in and just be like, hey, your hair is stupid. And then they'll just leave. And then we just kind of laugh about how dumb trolls are. And yeah, people would come in and, you know, maybe I'll make that a link to the original Don't Watch Unnatural History and Don't Watch Tower Prep videos. I've since made them unlisted because they've served their purpose. They're no longer necessary. Both those series are canceled. And even though I guess Tower Prep officially isn't canceled, it's been off the air for, 7 years now? It ain't coming back. So, but, you know, I think I might link them just so you can see what real trolling is. And I just wanted to know how wilted Alex would get after seeing the kind of abusive, horrible, vile things that are in that. So, yeah. I guess that they did kind of address the final lesson of it was that you just can't let the haters get to you. But I just couldn't suspend my disbelief as to the kind of level that he was getting and the level that he was taking it to. And I was planning on doing a big whole, here's what trolling is. Here's what it's like dealing with trolls. But then the podcast took a different turn because the series, I expected something different. Why did I expect something different? And I can't remember if I mentioned this, but I'm not considering that this is like a addressing the critics thing. Because, while I haven't done a whole lot of research into it, I haven't found anyone being really critical of Alex Inc. like I have. And I know that I've only been doing this for about 2 weeks now. And the way network TV works is that all these episodes were produced months in advance. Maybe that's why the network writers think that this is how it is making a podcast. They don't realize how off the cuff and how impromptu and how quick of a turnaround that you need to have in order to have some sort of audience and make some level of impact. And that you can produce things and tease things for 2 months and work on them for 2 months without producing anything else in the meantime. But whatever. This episode was definitely not an Address the Critics episode. If this episode came out in like 2 more seasons or whatever, and a real blogger versus Alex Inc. was gaining a whole lot of traction, then I might think otherwise. But no. This is just a coincidence that such a terrible series about podcasting has its own dedicated hater. But no, I'm not just hating on it. I'm dispelling the myths and inaccuracies that Alex Inc. is portraying. So no, I'm not just a mindless troll saying, hey, you suck. No, I'm backing up my claims and explaining why you don't know anything about what you're talking about. Because, again, 9 years of experience. So, end card things. Be sure to check out all the past episodes of A Real Blogger versus Alex Think. Link below in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like. And you know what? If you want to troll in this video, consider trolling. Just lay it on. Yeah. Because I can take it. Unlike Alex. But whatever. Anyway, consider giving it a like, up, buzz, or whatever you need to do to show your love if you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more from me, consider subscribing. If you want to help me, because, oh yeah, this series, they were having a big launch party. You don't do big launch parties for online content. I just said, I'm going to upload one day. And so I did. And they had investors and advertisers, because that happens not, which is why I have a Patreon page where for just $1 a month, you can get your name up there in that little Patreon credits section. But if Patreon's not your thing, I've also got a Bitcoin Faucet Rotator where you can get free Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Dashwell at the same time, helping support the show. And be sure to check out my website where I've got a whole lot of past content on there. Like I said, 9 years of experience. Which recently kind of hit home for me when someone uploaded a video about how SpongeBob Truth or Square came out 9 years ago, with SpongeBob coming out 19 years ago. And it's like, oh, wow, I feel old. But that's just end card rambling. All right, so I hope to catch you guys in the next video. Later.